Welcome. I'm back. I'm so sorry. We're back with episode number 79 of your favorite podcast, the Hcast. We are here. I'm so sorry I had to take a week off. We'll get to that in a little bit. I will explain. But what we got talking about today, well, of course, the Marvels, pretty full on. There's a lot to cover with the Marvels, from a review, the demographics, the blame game, the box office, the MCU in shambles. We've got a John Wick anime on the way. We've got Taika Waititi talking about Thor 5. We've got loads of stuff to talk about. Loads of stuff. And of course, this is your favorite podcast, the Hcast, episode number 79. Ladies and gents, just a few things to cover before we get started. We get heavy demonetization here. Yes, Tom is not here just yet, so we're safe for a little bit. But I'm sure inevitably the YouTube gods will demonetize us. You want to join in on the show? You want to support the show itself as well? Super chats are the way to do that. You can become a member of the channel. That's a great way to support the show as well. Or you can become a Patreon. Links to all that's down below in the description box. But the absolute best way, realistically, is the super chats, because we can discuss it here as we're live, and it's good fun. Basically, you can join in on the show. I'm a little bit rusty on this. I haven't done it for a little while. What's the other things?
Yeah. Well, no, the super chats make it so you actually can be part of some of the clips, because we do make a bunch of clips out of these for the live stream channel. You have to check out the live archives channel. We've got, lots to offer there. Nate does a great job. Check out some of his lore videos. He's been dropping a bunch of those prior to last week, and you're the whole reason that we're here. You're the whole reason that we can go. And if you become a member of the channel, you actually get a free super chat each and every month, basically, because you get a member chat, and that's the equivalent of a $5 super chat. So don't forget that if you are a member, to use that each and every month. And Nate does some other great things. So yeah, check it out.
Well, so do you, Culture. We're joined by such a good panel. Only one of them today, unfortunately. We're waiting on some other people. But Culture, Christina, how you doing, chap? You all right?
Wonderful. Yeah, I didn't get the creepy crud that y'all got quite as bad, so only had it for a couple of days.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah, you were flat. Yeah, a lot of people were. But no, I had a quick bounce back and did a little bit of travel, and then I subjected myself to the Marvels, which we'll talk about in just a bit. And
howdy we will.
I'm in a great place. I'm happy. The channel's doing well, and I love the Hcast. This is my favorite podcast, and I get to do it twice a week.
Well, you appeared on my show, actually, on H Reviews proper, in a video. Did you see any boost from that? Anyone subscribe over to you from that at all?
Yeah, I'm sure I got several people that popped in there. A lot of people mention your name. A lot of people mention your name in my chats and video comments. So I think I get some folks there from your neck of the woods, Oceana.
Good,
yeah,
friendly neck of the woods. This so. Straight up, quick apology. I had to take a week off. As you can probably tell during the week with the videos, it was a massive struggle, ladies and gents. My voice was incredibly strained at one point. My vocal cords were brutal. It was like I've been gargling with razor blades. Like it was real bad. I was getting hot, cold sweats, general fever. But the main thing that was really, really, really frustrating, because a little bit of flu here and there I don't really care about, but it was the inability to get some sleep. I just couldn't sleep. It was driving me insane. I was getting really angry because I just could not sleep. Days went by, wasn't sleeping, and I just had to take some time off. Basically, I obviously keep the channel going with the main videos and things like that, because I could edit all of that, and there was a lot of editing. Mark my words, there was a significant amount of editing. But we're back now with the Hcast. Do apologize, but we're back. Episode number 79. We're back on the same time zone as well, by the way. So that's good. So we're back on the same time zone. But yeah, I hope you're all well. Hit the thumbs up button on your way in, ladies and gents.
There you go.
Smash that thumbs up button on your way through here. We're going to get to some initial super chats, and we'll do that periodically as we go through. So please do drop them in. We are joined by another panel guest, and it is the great JJ Campbell, Jonas J. Campbell. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great.
They're great. Good.
You guys doing all right?
Not bad. Significantly. Significantly better than I was anyway.
Whenever somebody coughs in a movie, it's almost always like what is it? Consumption or something awful like that. So I hope you're doing well there, Nate.
Oh, Matt, I was brutal for a few days all last week. Horrendously sick and stuff. So I'm all good now. We've got some super chats to get to real quick, and then we'll dive into some of our topics. So D sent in 20 Australian dollary dues and says, looking forward to the Grace section of the show. Let the dumb flow. It is some dumb stuff we've got to cover with her today. It's quite funny. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for those 20 Australian dollars as well, chap. Thank you very, very much. How is the weather down there? Because when it is our winter, it's your summer. So is it brutally hot down there at the moment? Let me know. We've got the Icelandic Filipino, has been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, chap. Do appreciate that. We've got Snow Dub for $2. Sent in, hey, Mistake, who is the scruffy-looking co-host? Hey, he's not scruffy. That is Culture Casino.
Snow Dove knows very well who I am. He is my co-host on the Late Night Culture Show on Sunday. When you're sound asleep, Mr. H. Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it wasn't last week, was I? For goodness sake. Excuse me. Al Humphrey sent in £5 super sticker. Thank you so much, chap. Nice to have you here. I actually breezed into your 6-minute daily earlier, and Al Humphreys was in there as well, asking where this was going to be.
Yeah, I love it when you pop by. I wish I was. I wish I wouldn't hadn't so much muddled microphone. I'm trying to fix that. We'll get it sorted out. It'll be
good. It's all good. We got this from Doug, 1985 VA loves horror for $4.99. Says The Killer on Netflix, directed by David Fincher, is a really good film. It is a really good film. I've just finished watching it actually about an hour before we went live today. Have you seen The Killer? Culture, Jonas?
I haven't yet. I have it on. I have it on the list to watch. It's on the watch list. I just have to get through my queue. You know how that is. So, but I've heard nothing but great things about the film, so I'm excited to get a chance to watch it. And I think Fincher's great. So.
Yeah, my punishment in life right now because of my job is I think the next film that I'm going to see is Trolls 4. I think is it the 4th Trolls movie?
Yeah, it might be.
Really. So it'll be nice to have a little palate cleanser there with a David Fincher film.
Well, I can discuss The Killer then briefly. No spoilers. It's bloody good going. It is. It's very, very good film. Michael Fassbender. Yeah, great in that role. Very, very good. Direction from Fincher is on point, as you would expect. It was really good actually. I was very surprised, and I'll tell you why I was very surprised with The Killer was because it is a Netflix film. You know, you're watching it on Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's not super long. It's 2 hours. Good pace, good structure, split up into chapters, and it's just slick. It's just a slick film. It's what you expect of Fincher. It's not like Netflix have come in and gone, we're going to make this a Netflix Fincher film. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a Fincher film. You could have watched this in theaters, not in this modern day, unfortunately, but, you know, give it like 20 years ago, you could have watched this in theaters easily, and you've had a great time with it. It was a very, very good film. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Much more, significantly more than I thought I was going to, because of the stigma associated with Netflix. And as people are saying in the chat right now, the soundtrack was great. Very good soundtrack. Like it's split between like actual score and soundtrack, which is being listened to by character, which is then overlaid for the audience to hear, etc. So it's a nice blend of the two. It's really good. Very, very good film. Anyway, ladies and gents, we're going to pause some of those super chats for now and get off to our first topic. Right. I've seen the Marvels. Have you seen the Marvels, Culture?
Unfortunately.
Yes, I have. Oh my.
Right. We're not going to talk about box office or anything like that for now, any of that nonsense. Let's just talk about the film itself. Let's review the film.
Okay.
Right. God awful. What a hacked up piece of junk this film truly was. Obliterated in the script phase and the edit bay. From every single possible stage of production, this film is an abject failure. And the VFX, my gosh, they're terrible. How did this cost $300 million? Is beyond me.
That's a very good point. Somebody asked me what I would grade this film, and in America we do the A, B, C, D, F. I don't know what they do in the UK, but I would grade this as an incomplete. This movie is barely finished. I do not understand what in the world happened here. There are obvious plot holes on screen. And not like a, hey, you didn't go back and find the lady that you said you were going to go back kind of plot holes. Like people using their superpowers in moments where they don't have their superpowered items. Like really obvious things that, why not just cut that scene or cut that effect? You obviously have the compositing stuff here. The director doesn't need to be there to finish the film, apparently.
This is true.
Tonal shifts of characters that have one mindset in one clip, and then the next set of shots, Nick Fury he goes from calm to goofy, interacting with a different person, then going back to calm again. This thing is a disjointed.
Black girl magic, though. Black girl magic. Come on.
It's right, and if you don't like it, you're something. I'll tell you what.
Look, the only positive this film had, right, was Brie Larson has clearly been doing some squats, because there was a copious amount of butt shots in this film, much more than I thought there was. I mean, look, it's a Marvel film. I didn't expect there to be as many butt shots as there were, but there's a lot of butt shots.
I'm
just sat in minding my own business, watching the film, not expecting. There's Brie Larson's ass on the screen.
Yeah, I tried not to comment too much on the female form in movies, but at the same time, when was the last time we had a truly like attractive woman in a Marvel movie? And I think it would probably be Black Widow, where they're really focused on it.
Yeah.
Maybe Captain America Winter Soldier was the last time that there was an objectification shot on a woman. They've had plenty of objectification shots on men over and over again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, massively.
But
with Thor especially.
Winter Soldier, and by the way, of course, I'm going to point out that Black Widow, it's kind of essential to that character that she be hot. To be a Russian female spy.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of the name Black Widow, right? So they chopped off an entire aspect of that character, and the closest thing we have now is Brie Larson, which what a state we're in.
It's just the main crux of the film was they swap places when they use their powers, but they were all using their powers at certain times and not swapping places. There is a lot of plot holes in this. We're just like, well, that doesn't make sense now. And oh god, terrible film. And my leaks were completely true. The whole bloody thing was completely there as well. Yeah. So
fun. I keep telling people that. I'm like, all you have to do is listen to Nate's spoiler leaks, and you're set. You don't have to go see this. There were so many issues I had with it. I mean, yes, if they use their powers at the same time, they do switch places, which they then set up a way to plan to do with a wonderful jump rope scene that I think you guys are just discounting way too much. That whole bit I felt like was 15 minutes of stuff we did not need, because we got it already in a fight scene that was too long. And again, I think the problem is that Captain Marvel forgot she's overpowered. So we had the movie was just a series of events that had to happen to get to the end of the movie. It wasn't there was no plot. It was just, and it oftentimes felt like they weren't even interconnected properly. Weird exposition dumps in various places. The whole space elevator was unrequired. You could have skipped that whole part. Nick Fury and all that, and you could have skipped
the family side plot.
Yeah, you could have left that out. You already had a side plot that was going, with the collapse of two planetary bodies and their people. You didn't need this other you didn't need Goose the mother flirkin and all the eggs that showed up. You didn't need any of it.
Was Goose a dude in the first one? I'm pretty sure
know.
that he was male in the first film. I don't know.
God, I mean, the name itself would imply it, but isn't there a distinct lack of planets now in this universe? Like,
yeah,
there was planets everywhere, and loads of people go, "Oh, they're teasing Galactus." No, they're not. Marvel's not that smart. Okay, Marvel are totally stupid.
We thought they were going to give us Mephisto. They're not that smart.
Yeah, they're not that smart. But there is a distinct lack of planets. Like, they're like, "Oh, we can't go there. We don't have a home." Why? There's been like 100 planets that people have just randomly appeared on throughout this Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just put everyone there. Who cares? Now there's none, apparently.
In that entire federation of planets that whatever Novacor is dealing with. I've forgotten now. What is the name of that planet? Xandar.
Nova Prime?
No idea.
Yeah.
Nova. Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't this supposed to be this giant galaxy? And apparently they've got to leave it to Nick Fury, sad Nick Fury, not the jolly Nick Fury that is in this movie, but the sad Nick Fury that was in Secret Invasion.
Where did this sit in the timeline, though? Was this before or after that?
It's supposed to be after that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's supposed to be after. And then we've got a Scottish Skrull, which he sounded cool, but I have no idea why Skrulls are Scottish now.
Yeah.
So it's set after. Okay. What a terrible film, though.
Truly.
It truly is, isn't it? Like, it's so uninspired. I will get, like, I'll give it its due. They genuinely made Brie Larson, whether she did it or they did it, she's much more likable in this than she was in Captain Marvel. Like, her acting, her portrayal of the character is a much more likable version of that character. Now, I don't know whether that's her or the writing or the direction. No one knows. Obviously, you're never going to find that out. But she really is a much more likable character.
Yeah.
But that doesn't save the film. That doesn't make the film good either. By the way, ladies and gents. But it's just a whole lot of nothing. I mean, Jen Dar-Ben was a whole lot of nothing, wasn't it? A whole lot of nothing.
So
absolutely nothing.
Found out after this that she's married to Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's his wife.
Is she? Oh, yeah. Right. Well, that's why she got the job then, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't because of her acting. Yeah.
Oh, God, it was terrible, wasn't it?
You know what? They should have put Doug Jones in there with some creature makeup. It would have been solid, and he could have phoned in a performance and still been better. It was boring. She has generic goals, and I want to destroy a planet because it's better than my planet, but it's all flimsy. It's Spaceballs plot here. We're going to steal the oxygen from your planet. We're going to steal the sun from this planet, and we're going to steal this. Why or how? Well, because we got a magic bracelet, and for some reason we have the hammer that was destroyed in Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah.
I like you said, I just the thing that still is going to bother me forever is the fact that you can switch places and bring a guy with you that you're fighting with, but when you switch places and you take all that with you, including your clothes, but then you switch places somehow in and out of a spacesuit.
Yeah.
How did that work?
The whole thing was just...
It's force.
There's a height differential there too with the spacesuit. So
yeah,
why didn't she just materialize just inside the helmet? That would have been funny. Just the helmet only.
The thing is, awesome fly level shit. She's just like amalgamated with the suit as well. That'd been hilarious. Just this like weird gelatinous blob screaming through space before she suffocates and dies. That would have been fun. That's the R-rated horror version of the Marvels for you there, guys.
They're already going TVMA with Echo, right? Because they have nothing else to pitch that series with. So
just violence.
This one.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny. The thing about this film was they spent years on this. Total abject failure. Destroyed. Just rank amateur hour. It was absolute joke of a film.
Okay, so I'm going to support you on Brie, and I know the audience is going to hate this, but
It doesn't matter.
She
it's true. She was much more likable,
and she has talents. Just I was reminded she has talent. She can sing and she can dance, and you know, there was several moments there. I was like, well, you know, she could have been so much more. They directed her to be a man
overall.
Yeah, and they directed her as a man in everything that she's been in so far. Rather, they wanted her to be masculine, and that's a problem because she isn't.
No, they very clearly know she's not very masculine when they put her in that tight white fucking tank top as well. They knew what they were doing. All right, they knew, and even that couldn't save the film. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely they did. And they've got her in something that shows off her abs, and there was some comment from Brie Larson about how the brassiere on that outfit, it took a team to construct that thing. So they put a lot of production value into Brie Larson's form in this film. Again, trying not to comment on this aspect. I'm saying from a production aspect, they are trying to market the film in this way.
Yeah, but also not as well at the same time. Like still like a girl power feminist. Yeah, woo. And then a little bit of TNA on the side, which is like, just what a total failure this film was.
Was that a side boob reference there? Because that's what it sounded like.
TNA on the side, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Side butt as well.
I feel like I'm 12 years old again.
Yeah, I was just, it's a very quick film, and I was still bored. So, like that speaks volumes. So nothing happened. There was no amping up. There was no score driving on. Nothing. I think my heart rate barely raised like a couple beats.
I felt like I delivered an unkindness because I took a family member who is a veteran on Veterans Day.
What's wrong with you?
And and I had to apologize.
You didn't pay for it.
I paid for it. Yeah.
Oh well, at least there's that. Did you buy them popcorn?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, good. Can you? You should still send him like a grievances card, though.
I should. To be fair.
Probably left his body.
I'll say best part of the movie: the Ghostbusters preview and the what was it? The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That looks like that.
That looks better on movie. Jonas, we were talking about that a week ago before Mr. H got sick, and I thought that in the theater that looks like a great trailer. Something gets lost on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. The Blue Beetle trailer looks so much better on a movie screen than it does on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, anyway, shall we give this a mark out of 10? Because we all hate it, obviously. Should we give it a mark out of 10?
3 here. Yeah, I'm
kind.
The only thing that would make it lower is if it was no fun in any way, and so that's the Eternals. And yeah.
Oh yeah, that was I almost I genuinely almost fell asleep during the Eternals. It's been a very long time.
Oh, I did fall asleep.
During a film.
There's one point in that movie, and I forget what it is, but I literally, no matter what, because I've watched that film 3 times, I fall asleep at the same point. So I get a good 20-minute nap in, right? Wow. And I have not seen, there's like this segment of 20 minutes of that movie I've never seen.
Wow.
Yeah. I will never watch it again. I will never watch it again, but I just like...
Well, suffering from insomnia, maybe. But yeah.
This film, I was very kind to it. I think I was enthralled by Brie.
Someone say you gave it a 4 out of 10.
I did. Yeah. But honestly, it's really a 3. And also the other reason I gave it a 4 was because of the young lady, Mon Vellani. Mm-hmm. Because wow, that is not a good face. But I gave it that 4 because she does a great job being excited to be that character.
You know what though? So I'm going to give it a 2. And Iman Vellani, I don't care. I don't like her as an actor. Okay. And I said in my review, I think the thing about what you've got to remember, ladies and gents, is that British people and Americans, what appeals to us in terms of culture and kind of how people are is completely different. So some people, a lot of Americans don't understand sarcasm, dry wit. Obviously, a lot of you guys do. I'm not saying any of you. It's completely different, but broad strokes here. And a lot of English people really hate over enthusiastic, overhyped, overzealousness. We find it really grating. And I found it incredibly grating. I fucking hated her characterization of Ms. Marvel. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. It just rubs me up the wrong way. Really does. So no, I don't care about her remotely. It's awful, awful characterization. Oh my goodness. Shut up, love. Shut up. And there'll be a lot of British people that will agree with me. Straight up, we don't like it. Not interested. So
this was a character that she was better in Miss Marvel. They gave her a lot of really cringy lines. There were moments here where she was even out of character, where she was, even though her character is that she's a fan of Captain Marvel, it was to a point where, why did you say that? Why are you coding every person in this film as if they're a lesbian? That was the question I had over and over again.
Yeah, because there was that weird scene with Valkyrie as well, a bit like that as well, which is a bit like, what the fuck's going on here? What?
Mm-hmm. Or the "Oh Captain, my Captain" line, which is like, okay, yeah, I get it. You found a poem that uses the word captain in it. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done.
But there's obviously some kind of weird relationship that even Victoria Alonso said it's platonic between Captain Marvel and Photon's mother. But now you have two women who have some kind of relationship with each other now. It's very awkward when you think about the implications of most of these relationships, especially if you read them as gay coded. But
yeah, well, let's shuffle on a little bit now. So just to quickly address some comments floating around in the chat with my America versus British cultural sort of recognition. I have been out of the UK. I used to work in America. So trust me when I say the Gen Pop Americans, I've interacted with them, right? And yes, a sweeping statement, it's a generalization, but I used to work in the States, guys. So I'm speaking from experience. A lot of people found me incredibly abrasive because of my dry sarcasm and Brit, and that sort of wit. People really did not like that remotely. So yes, and yeah, I think that's about it really that I wanted to address. To be fair, there were some sort of dumb comments coming through there about all of that, which is worth pointing out. Humor is completely different.
I've never attributed it to being American, but I do have a pretty dry wit, and I do struggle a lot of times with people literally asking me, I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No. So that is the American versus So a lot of Americans don't understand dry wit. That is exactly what it is. People thought I was incredibly rude when I was just joking.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what I'm referencing. 100% what I'm referencing. And if you go to British comedians versus American comedians, you look at the stand-up things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sweeping statement, you'll find outliers among them, of course, but you'll find a lot of American comedians are like, wah, shouty, 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 wah, all of this kind of stuff. It's not how British people, the comedians, it's not.
You all must have loved Dane Cook. I'll tell you what.
Who?
Dane Cook. Oh, never mind. We don't need to go down that path if you're not aware.
No, this is what I mean. It's not what British people respond to very well. We don't like that sort of. It's abrasive to us. Again, much like you experience, dry sarcasm is quite abrasive to Gen Pop Americans. Anyway, I digress. But people saying I need to get out of the UK. I used to live and work around the world, guys. I'm old. You can tell by the whiteness in my beard. I've been around the world. All right. Let's shuffle on to some of these super chats. I've offended culture with the white beard comment. He's gone. Bless him. I'm sure he'll be back. Oh, he's back. So we've got Fergal Kelly. Member for 29 months says, with DC bombing and now Marvel bombing, who is in the best position of bouncing back better, excluding the Elseworld stuff from DC? This is a good question from Fergal Kelly. I actually don't think either of them are at this point in time. I think it's a pretty even keel because I think the marketplace, it's not a superhero fatigue, and we're not going to cover box office or anything like that for a while, so we'll get to that. But it's not just superhero. It's bad fatigue, bad movie fatigue, bad superhero movie fatigue. But people are also just not interested in this stuff anymore. You're going to really struggle to get people interested in these things. And I think Aquaman will show you that in a few weeks as well, to be fair.
I suspect Aquaman will bomb as hard as Flash did, and maybe almost as bad as the Marvels is. So.
I don't think either.
I don't know. I think there's probably some women who aren't paying attention at all to this scene that will be excited for Jason Momoa. I think they'll have because if you compare Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller as far as generic bodily appeal, I think you're going to have more Jason Momoa fans than Ezra Miller. So
wow, you must be a bigot against they thems.
No, I mean Jason Momoa is as tall as two people. I will say that. I've been in the room with the dude, and I didn't realize it was him until I left because I wasn't going to make eye contact with this humongous hulking guy who also was not wearing a shirt. So I'm like, just not going to deal with this fella.
What kind of rooms you getting in, James?
It was a Comic-Con, and I was actually going to his panel. This was before he was signed on to play Aquaman. Well, no, he was signed on. It just wasn't public for a very long time. And I was going to his panel. I thought, oh, here's that guy again. Not messing with him.
So. Well, there you go. I don't think either are in a good position to bounce back. I think they're about the same. Fergal Kelly, my dude. We got $5 from Deverl, I think. Royster. Sorry if I butchered that. Thank you so much, chap. Do appreciate. Donovan Bradford, member for 30 months, says, how bad of an issue is it that these superhero films are having either bad or incompetent scripts? DC or Marvel both have it in spades. I mean, the WGA strike's not going to fix that, is it?
No.
They're not going to remedy that with what's going on with that now. So, dear, oh dear. I mean, it's pretty bad, though. But that's the thing, is that they fail on every level from pre-production right the way through to production. We had it what was it recently, we had it revealed that Loki, they rewrote one of the episodes across a weekend, and it's like and that's because Kevin Feige suddenly looked at it and was like, loads of executives were like, that's great, this is great, blah blah blah, and then Kevin Feige looked at it and was like, nah, that's not good enough. And it's like, but that you should have approved the script. Kevin Feige, you are not too busy to read the script that you're approving. You're not too busy for that.
So you're saying
not enough films coming out.
So you're saying there were reshoots on Loki season 2?
Yeah, they literally admit to it. They rewrote episode 5 or something like that over a weekend.
See, there's another narrative out there where they're saying, "Oh no, this was not reshot in any way," which is.
But they've come out and admitted that they did that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
you're joking me.
I'll show you where they're still pushing this idea.
Nice gold.
I'd love to compare notes on this one. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying somebody's lying, and there's a lot of that going around with Marvel.
That's
right
hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go, Donovan. Black Saber sent in $2. Says, but Nate, Feige is supreme in the editing bay. It's not supreme anywhere these days, mate. But thanks for the $2. Israel R sent in $10. Says, greetings, Mr. H and panel. Glad the Hcast is back, and I am glad your favorite podcast is here. We've nearly got 800 people. Please do hit that thumbs up button. Tell YouTube you like this podcast and want to be notified of it in future. I'm glad you're feeling better. So am I. I can assure you of that. Holy cow, I was not feeling good. More clown world stupidity with MCU dying with massive cope. Yikes. I'm concerned about Deadpool 3 at this point. Yeah, well, I think that nicely takes us off to our next topic. Which is the box office. Goodness me. What a terrible box office it was, ladies and gents. It was a box office, wasn't it?
Yes,
it was a box office. I mean, it was worse than The Flash.
I also appreciate that you have the 46 million in the graphic, because that's the more accurate one. The numbers is reporting 46 million, whereas a lot of the larger outlets here are saying it's 47. Nope, it's not 47, because 46 is less than 47.
It is.
Well, oh God, it's so. What happened? Well, it's not very good. So I mean, this is an older article anyway, but I'm using this for some other bits and pieces we're going to be talking about today. The 97-minute Marvel movie did $46 million, and it's just under. Total is like $110 million worldwide, but it's not actually that, because now today it's still like $109 million worldwide, because it had like a 74% drop off on Monday. We got like $2 million on a Monday.
And that wasn't it wasn't very much box office to begin with.
It was pretty bad, and people are trying to tout this as a win because they're like, "Oh, it's number one." Sorry, what? This film cost $300 million.
If
good.
Okay, consider this: if Dune had not moved, this thing's dead meat.
It's dead meat anyway. This movie will struggle, because now this weekend coming up, it's got the Hunger Games Ballad of
super feminism.
Snow Brown, and this is dead. This is going to struggle to cross $100 million now, domestic. This is dead.
And I think it has to make 400 million before it's breaking even, if I'm not mistaken.
No, try. Keep going.
Oh, no, more than that, Jonas.
In the United States.
Oh, okay. Jonas is like, wow.
You look at over 600 million to break even for this film.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. But it globally it made $110 million. It's done. China only gave them like just under 11 million bucks.
Yep.
Their little virtual signal insert of a Chinese actor didn't even save him.
Oh, I think he was Korean, actually. So they
right. Well, he's big in China, basically, was the
Park Xiao or Xiao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the Chinese audience is really going to dig that musical scene? Is that
no,
they're not
going to go for?
Well, Chinese audiences traditionally don't like strong women anyway. They're turned off by strong female movies, generally speaking. So they've absolutely. I mean, what? Oh God! Terrible film. Terrible. I'm still over. I'm still reeling from how bad this film was. But what an absolutely atrocious box office. What does it say here? So the Marvel Saturday was 15.3 million, down 30% from a Friday. Well, the previews on Friday, but didn't it preview on Wednesday? So it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If I remember rightly.
I think it was Thursday, because I couldn't get a showing until Thursday.
But so still Thursday, Friday, and then down 30%. Not good. 30% on Saturday. That's terrible.
Well, that's the problem, is that they combined the $6.5 million it earned in preview on Thursday, which was deplorable. And
still not good.
And then they added Friday in to give them, that 21.5 million. I'm like, wait a minute, it only did 15.3 million. It's flat to Saturday then. Friday is flat to Saturday, and the only reason they see it as a decrease is because they combine the Thursday Friday. I really wish they'd stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, this is the worst MCU opening ever.
Yeah,
it got on par with some of the worst cinema scores ever.
B.
Not good. Not good. But it has been that steady trajectory decline, hasn't it? With respect to these Marvel movies. But this was never going to do well. It's so bizarre that they chose to, spend so much bloody money on it. Like, why? Why would you spend so much money on this? $300 million. Then marketing budget, all the reshoots, the VFX at the last minute because they kept changing stuff. mean, this is a massive, massive waste of money.
Correct me if I'm wrong, either of you, but if I remember right, the first narrative they came out with was that this film was only $100 million or $110 million in budget.
No way. No way. No way.
Yeah, I think that was
I'll
it,
go
yeah.
find that story. I'm gonna go find it because I was like, this is one of the most reasonably budgeted, Marvel films, and I'm going, what?
No, Captain Marvel superpowers can't even be done in $100 million film. I think that glowy effect or Miss Marvel's weird hard light hands that are supposed to mimic Mr. Fantastic's powers. And of course now Photon. These are all superheroes that they cannot do a cheap movie with these superheroes. Maybe that'll cause them to be grounded here, where they can somehow get these boring, overly CGI intensive characters off the screen, because there's no Stan Winston legacy shop to come in here and say we've got a version of this.
You say that though, but you can do these cheaper. You absolutely can do these cheaper. I always go back to the creator. They had fully CGI, robots running around in that film, doing pretty intensive stuff. And that was for $85 million. You can do this cheaper. The thing about that film was everything was locked in before the VFX were done, right? Everything was 100% locked. It was all done. The film was done. And then they went, right, so now you need to do the VFX. And so it was done. And with time, all the shots were finished, all locked in, done, dusted. These films are made in the edit bay. So it's not done. So they're asking people to keep making VFX non-stop all the time for stuff that isn't even used. So that's why there's so bloody much money.
So is that the problem here? Is that they have an income target, a revenue target in mind rather than a profitability target in mind?
I mean, we had that report about She-Hulk, right? I mean, half those things weren't even finished, and they were making that up as they were kind of going along. So that's why the VFX looks so bad. It's the same principle as that they just don't. Nothing's locked in. They're trying to praise Kevin Feige as this mastermind in the edit bay, but what all that has proven is to be incredibly costly, because they just waste money in the edit bay. Whereas if they had a locked-in script and a locked-in shoot and a locked-in edit before they sent it off to VFX, it'd be done.
Well, mind you, I found the article where Nia DaCosta exposed that the budget for the Marvels was only $130 million.
No, where is that article?
I put it in the private chat.
You share your screen.
You're making me work. What is that?
I am, yeah.
See, this is why you don't be a producer, kids.
September 20th. Oh my.
There it is.
Oh, so this did get subsidized by the UK government. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Okay.
No, not by 100. That it's still more than $130 million though.
Okay.
Because Forbes found the filings.
Yeah, said it cost. Vanity Fair says it cost about $130 million. And then,
but Forbes reports today, per financial documents from Disney, so Company's House, legal
Company's
filings,
House, yeah.
Company spent $274.8 million on the Marvels.
Yeah,
they banked $55 million subsidy from the UK government, so it's $220 million. But it's still going to be more than that.
Oh yeah,
because they still were editing it, they were still shooting it and editing it and reworking it up until the very last minute. So it's still going to be more than that. You still have marketing on top of that. Even if you take best case scenario, let's say it is 220 million, and then let's just round it up. They did $100 million on marketing, but they did quite a lot on marketing for this. Let's say it's $320 million. I mean, that's $640 million to break even.
Yeah.
So this film will now lose somewhere in the region of $400 million.
Oh,
but it will, though. You know it.
No, okay. So I know you know this, Nate, and probably Jonas does too. But when I projected the loss for this film, I'm like, this film will lose at least $200 million.
Mate, that's chump change. It's more.
I know it's gonna be over $300 million. I think you're right. It could lose $400 million.
Of course, counting
it's only done
marketing
140 million worldwide, right? Only done 140 million worldwide.
No, it hasn't.
So I'm
it's
several
110, isn't it? Sorry, yeah, it's done 110. Sorry, it's not. It was projected to do 140. It's done 110. This film's dead. This film was so strong.
Well, if you knock off the $2 million that they tried to add to the American total, it's actually $108 million as of Friday or Sunday night. So
I'll add something to this as well.
Yeah, please.
That is as of September of 2022. I went ahead and looked up the UK filings since this is referencing Forbes, which Caroline Reed from Forbes is a master at this. She actually names the entity Warbird Productions UK. Warbird Productions 2 UK Limited. The last filing was September of this year, which goes to September of last year. So the last time they spent money on this, going up to September of 2022, that is that 274 million or whatever that is only what was spent up to September of last year. So this is assuming they didn't spend any money this year on the production.
But we know they did because they did reshoots.
Absolutely.
And they confirmed that.
So this movie could be a $300 million movie.
It certainly is.
Very easily.
Yeah. $278.4 million as of then. Then they robbed the good people of the UK for $55 million. Thank you, by the way, for having them use your tax money and not mine.
They've made more from the British taxpayer than they have the box office.
Thank you very much, Nate, for supporting women in cinema.
They actually have. That's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
They should at least let you go see the movie for free.
That's right.
No, mate, that'd be, it should be banned under the Geneva Convention.
You know, you guys only spent $10 million, only $10 million on that movie this weekend. You should be proud of yourselves.
Oh my!
On top of the $55 million in taxes you gave them. Well done.
Well, MCU decline. Are we in it now? Are we going to see the next movie dead as well? Because the next movie is Deadpool. So do we think that that's going to be a bomb as well? What do we think?
Well, before that's dead, I think there's Echo that's also going to be.
No one cares about that. That's dead already.
Yeah. Sean Levy makes entertaining films. He tends to make kiddie fare, though. He did the Night at the Museum movies. Free Guy had a little too much cursing in it for kids, but that was essentially a kids movie. Yeah. I hope with Ryan Reynolds there to guide him that he does a little bit better with Deadpool. But I don't know. I don't know what the strategy here, because I'm sure that movie is already getting close to the $300 million mark.
Easily.
A rated R big budget film. Those have not been successful for a very long time. And I guess they're giving up on the idea. Between this and Echo, it seems like they're giving up on the idea.
Joker was successful.
Well, that's true. How much did Joker make, though?
Billion.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. Yeah.
It cost $1 billion.
Do we think that Deadpool is going to make $1 billion and also be something that parents are okay letting? This is the other thing about, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk. These are all little boy characters. These are characters that little boys look at and say, "I want to be this character for Halloween."
They're little girl characters now, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Come on, Jones.
I don't understand what the business case here is. I get the idea of doing Deadpool 3 because Deadpool 2 was more successful than it needed to be. Was not as successful as Deadpool 1. But if this is a family company, which they aren't, but I'm paying lip service to this idea. If this is a family company, what are you doing making a near $300 million budget rated R film?
I love the Merc with the mouth.
I reckon. Do we reckon it's going to bomb? Yes or no? Come on, yes or no?
I don't think it's going to bomb. I don't think.
Okay, define bomb.
Lose money. Not cross $800 million. That'll be a bomb. That'll be a bomb for Deadpool and Marvel. Bearing in mind, their market for success is $1 billion.
Okay.
So with the amount of money that they spent on it, the amount of money they had to roll up into Hugh Jackman's Australian down under lawn for this, right? It doesn't make $800 million. This would be a bomb for them, guaranteed. They would see that as an abject failure. Honestly, bringing back Hugh Jackman, getting Deadpool in it, or a host of all of the other people that they're getting involved in it. The budget for this film is going to be insane. 100%
I think it will be.
We've seen the set pieces. It is. It's going to be crazy. So $800 million doesn't. That's the marker. Is it going to be a bomb? Is it going to cross $800 million or not?
No.
Will it be as successful as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? That's the mark here. So you don't think so?
No, I think you've kind of labeled exactly why. I mean, it's a rated R film. You are still going to have people that are hold back their kids from seeing that. I know that it seems puritanical, but it's not. I think Nate makes a good point. Wow. I hadn't thought of it that way, but if it has a $250 to $300 million budget, it's
think of all the people that they've got to cameo in this.
Oh yeah, I mean they've got to bring in every X-Man or Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom and
well, they've already got Kelsey Grammer. Oh my goodness, that was horrible.
Yeah. He's got someone to bring out, isn't he?
That was not Kelsey Grammer. That was a rep.
It was his voice. It was his voice.
Yeah. That was an abomination of Kelsey Grammer as Beast. That was terrible.
Right. Okay. So you don't think it's going to make $800 million? Jonas, do you think it will get $800 million?
If it does better than Joker, I think there's a possibility this film hits $800 million.
Oof.
I'm going to say there's a possibility, but it's going to struggle for many, many reasons. But there we go. Let's shuffle on now to some super chats. So we've got Martin Staller has been a member for 32 months. Thank you so much, chap. To appreciate that. If you want to join in and support your favorite podcast, support the channel itself, please do become a member, guys. And if you want to support via fan funding and join in the conversation, super chats are the way to do that. So Olaf Vanes, great mod here on the HCast, sent in €2. Says, didn't they also try to hide the pregnancy of Rambo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they did the reshoots, she was pregnant. So that's when she's not like there's no close shots of her. She's not. Yeah. What was she wearing in those shots, Jonas?
This gets complicated because during the musical scenes, she was wearing one thing, and then right after it, they literally had a scene of her walking away, and she had these weird drapes on her for about 20 seconds, and then she rips off those drapes. I could not. I wasn't paying very much attention to what Tiana Paris's costume changes were, but I was noting that they were changing at a very rapid pace to the point where there was a lot of connective tissue that they did the reshoot, but they didn't quite do the right reshoot here or there. If that makes sense.
Well, there we go. Something I didn't know.
Script Doctor pointed out that in all the wide shots, she's wearing a bigger outfit.
Oh, yeah, that's actually also true.
In the close-up shots, they're always above the belly line. So
above the sternum.
They reshot then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. C. Kramer has been a member for 25 months.
Wow.
Zephyr has been a member for 3 months. So thank you so much, guys. We got D sending in $10 Australian. Says the ending of this movie would have been at least interesting if it was Rogue showing up and draining Captain Marvel. I think that would have got people interested for the Disney X-Men movie. Yeah, I mean, it is a brutal part of the Captain Marvel story is that Rogue essentially gets her powers, and Captain Marvel's left in a coma, and that is the story, isn't it? So, yeah, I agree. I think that would have got people interested, but the uproar would have been too much for Disney's impotent, stance to take on it all. Unfortunately,
I think the only way they can work that and keep their Captain Marvel is to do it as a multiversal thing, and then they can have an awkward scene where they confront each other and then are fine 2 scenes later, like they did in the Marvels.
The adversarial plot line between Photon and Captain Marvel made no sense, and it was too easily rectified. I mean, if you have that kind of falling out, I'm sorry. There's so much wrong with this movie.
Anyway, Dragon Reborn been a member for 33 months and says, "Hail the high great table. Hope all is good if you missed H Casino and Jonas. Miss H, glad to see you feeling and sounding much better, and may it continue. Yeah, man, I was pretty rough, not gonna lie.
Hail.
And you know what was, the worst thing of this was how rough I was feeling. Jasper, my little dog Jasper, the little mascot on the channel, the face of such classics as Space Jasper, Clown World, or Lucky Jasper.
You better tell me he's okay at the end of this.
I know he was absolutely fine. The little shit doesn't like coughing, so he was just avoiding me the whole time. I'm there sick. I'm laying him around the house. I'm like, I just want to cuddle. I'm a bloody dog. just leaving the room. Any room I went into, I'd walk in the room,
and he's like,
and he'd just walk off. I'm like, oh, you fucking.
he's like,
cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Handle yourself, mate. Handle yourself.
It's like, I like you, Dad, but that coughing, that gets in the way of the nap.
Couldn't believe it, honestly. But yeah, I'm Giss. Thanks very much. Bloody sod. Bless him. Love that dog. And Grousey has been a member for 29 months. So thank you so much, guys. Do appreciate it. Right. Well, trying to think.
Look at all these memberships. You guys are rocking it. 30+ months on average. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. We got the best channel members here supporting the show. So I think it's important now, guys, to move off to our next topic.
Yeah.
So, well, this all happened, didn't it? Stephen King. Stephen King took to Twitter to lambast people that didn't watch the Marvels, and Stephen King said it must be young guys. It's all guys saying, "Ugh, women, yuck." Yeah, kind of egg on your face there, Stephen, mate, because the demographic breakdown of the people that watch the Marvels actually meant it was guys that actually went to watch it the most. Yeah. In fact, 65% male went to watch the Marvels, and this is the same thing that's happened all the time. So this happened with what else did it happen with? It happened with Birds of Prey. Famously, people were like, "Oh, it's misogyny." No, dumb fuck. No, it's not. It's actually women. It's maybe it's internalized misogyny from women. I don't know. Or maybe women just aren't interested in watching superhero films, generally speaking, like they're not, because they're not. But yeah, the Marvels, 65% male. 45% were men over 25. 22% women over 25. Pretty bad. In fact, men under 25 was at 20%. So this bizarre narrative that it's always men that make these films a failure is broken now. And I chimed in on many Twitter threads. I had a great time on Twitter with this. Stephen King being the predominant one, absolute raging hack moron that he is. It totally is. And someone wants to check his hard drive because he spent chapter after chapter writing about child orgy. So people should probably check his hard drive because that guy's fucked in the head, quite frankly. We also had people going, "Oh, isn't it strangely men that are reviewing the Marvels bad?" If all these women spent nearly as much time, as nearly as much time as they do bitching about men not liking the film, as they could do trying to support other women and encourage them to go and watch the film, it would have actually been a success because men actually did go out and watch it. 65%.
Yeah, what's the quote from the response to Billy Eichner when he said that straight people just didn't come out and support Bros? Dude, at those numbers, gay people didn't go out to see Bros.
No.
I did a video exactly like that as well. So what do we think? Because this is hilarious. This is the tired old trope that we see time and time and time again.
It's lazy and it's first level thinking, and it's the reason we can all do these channels, because people don't want to look with any kind of critical eye. They want their easy answer that there are villains in the world and that's it. The only reason that the thing you don't like, that the thing you like is not successful, is obviously that there's mean right wingers out there. It's a children's story about why your worldview doesn't quite line up with reality.
Yeah, I think that actually helps us a lot, Jonas, because pointing out all the holes in these thought processes from smooth brain cocaine heads like Stephen King. I feel like we'll have an infinite amount of content because they are incapable of, as you said, critical thinking. Nobody asks follow-up questions either. That's the other thing. That's starting to really frustrate me with journalists because I guess one of the head people at one of the it's not Comscore, not Garabedian, who's actually really good, but one of the other ones was out there talking about the ratings and everything else, and the take was, well, these films aren't, these there's great success in these female centric films, but nobody's going to see them. I'm like,
what a wonderful statement.
I'm like, I mean, and this is I have to find it, but in fact, that's going to have to be a feature in a video that I do. But I lost my mind. I'm like, did he just say that? Yeah, he did.
It's a definitional issue of we have to redefine success in order for it to not be box office, in order to say that this film is a success. I think the great defense of this film is going to be that people have not gone to see it. I think that is where a lot of this argument comes from, because they must be thinking to themselves, this film cannot be as bad as all of these people are saying. I saw a great review, and when I say great, I mean it was great in the sense of what it tells about the narrative, not about the film itself. There's a guy, and I'm not going to out him because I would love to get him on the channel sometime. He did a second review in which most of it was spent complaining about the fact that people in his comment section kept bringing up South Park. And he wanted to make it clear to everyone that he did not like this film, but he didn't hate anyone involved in it. And anyone that hates someone involved in the film, their review is automatically invalid. So he wanted to keep his place more than he wanted to review this film fairly.
Well, these are the tweets in question from Stephen King. Some of the, for starters, why gloat over failure? Because society regulates itself, and gloating over failure, or at least acknowledging failure, should be a thing. Some of the rejection of the Marvels, maybe adolescent fanboy hate, yuck girls. I mean, again, I replied to this. See my reply there. It was majority men that watched the film, you raging hack moron. Lauren Chen, I'm a woman. I saw the movie. It was bad. Legend.
She's amazing. Oh, she's so amazing.
We will get her on the podcast as well at some point, guys.
Oh, it'll be so fun.
But, she already agreed to come on. It's just a scheduling thing, basically. But this tired narrative of, it must be, it's misogyny. It's misogyny that's done it. Blah blah blah. It's like, come on, where was I mean, men didn't go out and make Barbie a success, did they? So, people have very short memories at this point in time. People are like, we didn't need no men to make Barbie a success. Like, no, you didn't. That was like $1.3 billion or something like that. Yeah. So where's the $1.3 billion worth of Marvel fans?
That's a great point. These things keep popping up right before Disney has to answer questions, and I frankly I love it. The fact that an animated film will do poorly, but then Super Mario Brothers, Jasper, he's a good boy. How's it going, Jasper? That Super Mario Brothers will do fantastic numbers, or Minions will come out and do fantastic numbers. So we've got this moment coming up where Disney's Wish will be out in 2 weeks.
I think that's going to fail as well.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to say that you guys are musical fans, but I'll speak as a person who has some history in music. The music that is coming out of that is awful, and I'd love to do a video breaking down like the lyrical difference between like those Alan Menken, Howard Ashman productions and the Sherman Brothers and
the Shermans.
They're fantastic. But whatever, I digress. Disney Wish will have a comparison here in Migration. Illumination is coming up with a film soon called Migration. If that does well, and it is a brand new IP, and Wish does poorly, I think this is yet another instance where we'll have a clear indication of the health of the Disney brand, to put it lightly.
I think it's going to be amazing, because even with the dumb dad trope in Migration, I'm still not getting as many like, oh my goodness, this is, going to be an awful, agenda driven film. I do get that from Wish, even though I'm being told by people who've now seen it multiple times that it's not really that feminist. Well, okay, it's not
but
really that
feminist. Masking it, then, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I feel like it's going to do badly because of the reasons that Jonas was alluding to. I think people are done with the Disney company because they don't trust them anymore.
Well, again, same as why the Marvels bombed, to be fair. But Jonas, you need to disappear, don't you, chap?
I do. I got a phone call there, and it turns out it's one with some strings attached, so I got to run. But thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your illustrious panel today.
So, all right, thank you for joining. Do you want to plug some stuff before you leave?
Sure. I'm from That Park Place, which is a YouTube channel where we like to go through news stories very quickly. Culture. We'll do segments on there very regularly, and it's great. It's a little quick refresher. We get to cover some of those stories that aren't necessarily the ones that are going to grab YouTube headlines, well as the first one will pull you in with a good one, and then you get your vegetables in there, so you kind of get the idea of what's going on in the industry. And of course, we get to cover the big topics as well. We're doing a live stream on Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we're really covering a lot of topics. Of course, we covered the Marvels, and then there's this wonderful little lie out of the Disney company about how successful Loki is, and we go hard into the figures on the deception there. So thank you so much for having me on, Nate. And Culture, I'm sure you put in a good word for me as well. Good to see you, mates, and y'all have a good night. And man, Nate, I hope you feel better, all the way better, very soon.
Cheers. I do appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks,
see you
Jonas.
soon.
Be safe.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
I published an article over there on the website for them. I've done a few articles over there. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
We had a little chapo come to.
There you go.
Us.
Wait.
He
we should make
barged the door open.
There we go. Look at him.
Look at head barging through the door. Oh, buddy, you're a little man. What are you doing?
He's so cute.
Say hello to everyone.
Hi, buddy.
He's a bit too fluffy at the moment. He needs a trim down. He's actually got trimmed down in 2 weeks. So
all right. Well,
this is for all those people that never see Jasper anymore. He's still here. He's alive and kicking. He's 5 years old.
You're not sleeping on the couch anymore when you're doing your show.
No, he doesn't like coming in here anymore. I don't understand it. I mean, it's not in here anymore. It's a different house entirely. But maybe it was. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't like being on. I kept the couch for him, and I brought it up here for him, and he doesn't want to sleep on the couch when I'm doing.
That's funny.
Whatever. Never mind. It's what it is. Who cares? Right. Well, guys, a little bit of a break from Marvel stuff, and now we're going to shuffle on to something which is interesting. Could be good. Could be bad. But we'll take a look at this now. That's a great thing. I love that. So what is this? Well, I've been covering He-Man and the Master of the Universe live action for God knows how long. It's been years now. This thing's been gestating for years, and I've covered it so often. It's a never-ending story. But the never-ending story continues, of course, and now they're in talks with Amazon.
Yeah.
So straight off the bat, without knowing anything, what do you think of that news, Culture?
Okay, so knowing what I know on the background of this because of how passionate Tom has been about it, I will say this. This thing has been in production hell forever.
Oh yeah.
It hasn't moved forward at all. It
I mean,
hasn't moved.
Netflix spent $60 million on it and then scrapped it.
Yeah,
$30 million for the rights, $30 million to develop, and then they just scrapped it.
and they ditched it. And it's like this is the definition of production hell. And this is a cartoon. Normally, these horror stories are reserved for live action cinema, not animation.
But this will be live action. That's the thing.
Oh, I thought it
So
was.
it will be live action.
I thought it was
But
still the animated bit. No,
no, this is still going to be a live action. But the thing is,
oh,
this isn't difficult to get right anyway. You're right. Like to compare it to a cartoon, it is a bloody cartoon. It's not difficult to get right. So let's take a look at this report, and it will remind us of some bits and pieces. So it's funny, Variety. I like their snidiness at the moment. So in Master of the Universe, He-Man's nemesis is the evil wizard Skeletor. In Hollywood, his greatest threat has been a list of studio partners that have sidelined him from the big screen for nearly 2 decades. True story.
yeah.
The blonde barbarian, based on a popular set of Mattel toys, may finally win the day. Amazon MGM Studios is in serious talks to mount a live-action Master of the Universe movie from Adam and Aaron Nee, the writing and directing team behind The Lost City. According to multiple insiders, conversations are taking place with Amazon after Netflix dropped a planned version of the Nee brothers film in July. Now, this is what's interesting, is that the Nee brothers are still attached to it somehow. They must have some option with it, even though the option is still around anyway for other people as well. It's all over the place. But you wanted to say something, Culture, sorry.
No, just that's good news with the knees because Lost City is pretty good and
I never saw it.
Yeah, I feel like this could be a win.
Well, I mean, it must be because they're attached to it non-stop, it seems.
Yeah.
But it says here Netflix spent nearly 30 million in development costs over 2 years and 30 million for the rights, by the way, guys, which is meant to star Kyle Allen. And the streamer walked away when the tentpole's budget, originally set for more than $200 million, could not be meaningfully reduced. Now, I've gone on record and said this doesn't need to be $200 million. You could do this for $100 million. You can absolutely. Yeah. You do 2 set pieces, 3 generally. You do 3 locations: Grayskull, the Palace, and then general world of Eternia. But that could be done in a desert. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
This is not a hard film to get right. It doesn't have to have a $200 million budget. It can be super basic. He-Man comes out and saves the day from Skeletor. Boom, wham, bam. Thank you, man. I don't understand why they want a $200 million budget to begin with. It's so strange. Now, this is what's interesting, right? So they say the Amazon talks are tenuous. Another source cautions, but should the studio advance, it will need to close new deals with the Nees for a script polish and to direct. So why are they still? How do they have an option then? Do they have an option? Why are they attached? What's going on? Doesn't really make any sense. Alan is still in the mix to star as He-Man. He's a weedy little guy, so all right. Mattel and producer Todd Black, who's been devoted to the film across multiple former studio homes, including Warner Brothers and Sony, will also be seeking a significant theatrical release, something that was not quite on the table at Netflix, which is good. That's good. I'm glad that they'll do a theatrical release. But this is the really interesting part. So we talk about the rights. So the rights to the Master of the Universe are tangled all over the place. So DreamWorks Animation has the rights. Okay. And that was a deal that said Mattel could exploit Master's characters for filmed adaptation through 2026. So 2 sources say, as DreamWorks Animations is now owned by NBC Universal, this means the conglomerate could interfere with any potential sequels that Amazon MGM would want to develop. So they need to make a new deal, basically. They need to have an extension of the rights, sources say. But it's strange. I don't understand why are the Nee brothers so intertwined in it for some weird reason. The rights are all over the place. You've only got essentially 2 more years, realistically, probably 1 year actually, because they're not going to get this released in 2024. It'll be 2025. What a shit show. But is Amazon and MGM the best place for it? They've done some good stuff, but they've also done some terrible stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm gonna go on record and say I'll be surprised if it gets made because it's been such a hot mess. And if they're going to invest a couple $100 million in this and they can't extend the rights, then it's kind of a one and done maybe for them. And I don't know how thrilled they're going to be about that. So,
yeah,
what a mess,
isn't it? Why do you think the Nee brothers are so heavily involved then? If they have to be re-optioned for it all,
could it be that they're tied to it contractually through maybe their concept, maybe the story?
Then you just bin off their concept, wouldn't you? So what I mean,
guess.
you just bin their concept off. I mean, they even need to do a script polish and get a new, make a new deal for them to do the script polish, or is it a spec script on behalf of Mattel, which Amazon is trying to purchase, and then they've got to re-option them? Is that maybe?
Maybe. I mean,
it is weird, isn't it? It is kind of all over the place. Not just me. Like, it is a bit odd.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, they have to be, maybe they're invested at a producerial level.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's cheaper to keep them. I don't know, but it's awfully odd. So I think, I think this is an opportunity, but like you said, Amazon's like 50-50 on what they do. At least they'd get it made. Maybe. I still don't think it's going to get made. It's still a mess.
My dog's gone. He's decided to leave. I know.
Right, he's
bugger. Bless him. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, Amazon are so 50-50. They're so like... yeah, they're all over the place. Amazon are all over the place. But there's no way this needs a $200 million budget, for goodness sake.
No.
Like, $200 million is insanity. Like, actual insanity for that. No need for $200 million. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Anyway, do you want this? There's the other question. Do you want a Amazon MGM? You say no.
Well, no, I mean, I'd love to see it. The problem is, do I want anything made right now from my childhood or from my siblings' childhood in this case? Yeah. And I would hate for like my youngest brother. He'd be heartbroken. This would break his little heart. Because
I said,
if they do it wrong,
I mean, when I did a video earlier, and I said in that video is that whenever these things take ages, it's always because there's an attempt to shove an agenda into something which doesn't naturally fit. So like Blade, for instance, Blade was in development hell because they were literally randomly telling a story about a bunch of women and life lessons, and Blade was in it tangentially. This shouldn't be... Conan shouldn't be difficult to get right either. These very basic, simplistic ideas become and fall into development hell because of attempts to repurpose and repackage them for an agenda. So my main concern here is that that's what they're probably trying to do with He-Man as well. Because otherwise, why else would it be in such a simplistic idea languishing in development hell?
Because they tried to make it overly complicated, or somebody did. I mean, Netflix did have, a pretty strong contingent of activist producers there for a while that had unlimited funding, it seems.
So yeah, that's true.
They seem to have removed...
They need to change that now, though. So
yeah, they seem to have removed many of them. So I don't know, Nate. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I think people are out there shooting chats. We got super chats on it. I don't know that I don't know I trust anybody right now to make anything, to be fair.
It's true. We had Bayona Rad, for £5. Says, remember Amazon scraps to do Conan the Barbarian, why they want He-Man. That is true. Because they did. Conan the Barbarian was going to be pretty hardcore with Amazon as well, and then they came in and scrapped it. So you are right, actually.
Jeez.
You are right there. And Israel R for $10 says, as a fan of OG He-Man, I think it's better they scrap this project for now, in my opinion. The brand has been ruined, including She-Ra. Yep. Who would this be for? Thoughts? Excited for G-Man, though. Yeah, well, who would this be for? I mean, that's the thing. But you said you said you like the Nee brothers.
Yeah.
Well, come on, defend them then.
Well, no, I look, if they're able to keep the agenda out of it, which may have been what kept this thing in hell over at Netflix, you don't know. I don't know. But that could have been it. And then, you know, they're so invested in it and doing it right that maybe that's the kind of willpower it takes to get something done of quality.
True. That is true. That is very, very true. Well, there you go. Yeah. There you go, guys. There you go. What do we think? I don't know. Where are you all in the chat right now? We've got 700 people here. Only 400 odd likes. Please smash that thumbs up button.
Please.
Smash it. Smash it down like you would your dinner when you're really hungry.
Or Brie Larson, or for Nate to Brie Larson. Yeah.
Steady on, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's misogynar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Misogynar going on up in here. Right. Anyway, ladies and gents, let's shuffle off to our next topic. Well, there you go. Right. Strike is over. SAG-AFTRA, they're not striking. Those poor actors, they've decided not to strike anymore. What do we... I've got a brief rundown. I don't know how much I trust. It's from CBS News. But they've got a rundown of what was 6 things actors got in the new contract. I couldn't find anything else. Deadline hasn't published anything yet. Hollywood Reporter hasn't published anything, neither Variety, etc. So we've got this one, right? SAG-AFTRA strike is over. Here are 6 things actors got in their new contract. Minimum compensation increases. Performers will earn a 7% wage increase, effective immediately. That initial pay hike will be followed by a 4% increase on July 1st, 2024, and a 3.5% increase on July 1st. That is a lot.
It still doesn't catch them up with inflation, but yeah.
Yeah, but barely anyone has with inflation, have they?
Oh, I know. It is quite a bit. 7% wage increase. Yeah, saw that coming. The 3.5% is gonna be the one that we'll find out whether that caught them up to where they were 5 years
Well, no,
ago.
it's more than 7%.
No, it's okay, it's 7%, right? And then
another
4.
Then another 3.5. It's over
40%. I agree with you, but it doesn't work that way. It's 7% the first year, which does a big jump in trying to catch them up. But then it's only 4% of the next jump. It's not an additional 4% on top of the 7%. It's just 4% of what they've earned. And then it's 3.5% of what they were then earning. So the reason those numbers go down, yeah. So I think it gets them through the 3 years. I think it gets them close to even again. Or closer to where they were prior to inflation, rampant skyrocketing in global inflation. It is what it is. I just
well, I like this. Background actors, stand-ins, and photo doubles will immediately earn an 11% wage increase, followed by the same 4 and 3.5% hikes as general performers in 20. That's good.
Yeah.
A lot of them are going to need about the main actors getting more money. Couldn't give a shit about them. But
a lot of those
day players like that.
And those people have been doing without for a very long time, and this might catch them up on their mortgages. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. We've got someone else to chime in on this as well. Is Nick? Hey. What do you think about it? How's it going, chap? The strike is over, mate. What do we think about the minimum compensation increases?
I haven't seen all the details on this. So what's
brand new, breaking news,
just out.
So
it is actually just out, yeah.
So basically, stand-ins minimum rate hike.
Well, so main performers will get 7% wage increase effective immediately.
Oh yeah, because they need it.
That's my thoughts exactly. And then I'll get more. Then next year they get a 4% increase, and then the following year they get a 3.5% increase. But then,
Right.
yeah, that's the no one gives a crap about. But the good thing is stand-in, background actors, photo doubles get an 11% wage increase immediately, with a 4% next year, and then a 3.5% the following year after that. So that's good, I think.
Yeah, for the low man on the totem pole, yeah, I'm completely fine with that. But the top performers, like, man, they should negotiated a pay decrease for those people. And talk to them, been like, hey, all these other people, the sound guys, the stage people, the fill-ins,
they weren't striking for the sound guys, were they? They're not involved in this. They're lucky if they got a job to go back to now.
Yeah, true. But yeah, pretty much all the other people that help make the movie possible, they should have taken a pay decrease and helped them out, because I know that it was said that you have to make, if you're part of the union, you have to make a certain amount per year to even qualify for health insurance. You know, they should have maybe brought that down for those people.
Agreed.
So that they could have health insurance. So this seems like it's going to help everybody, but the top performers, I mean, I would not, if I was the studio, I would not have negotiated that. But if it's the only thing that was going to make the strike end, or whatever, I guess.
Agreed. So streaming bonuses, right? So new contract calls for actors to earn a success payment along with the usual residual payments if they work on streaming projects that attract a significant number of viewers. So the success metric is determined by the following formula: the total number of domestic streaming hours over the first 90 exhibition days is divided by the total runtime of the movie or the television series episodes to determine domestic views. The success metric is calculated by dividing the domestic views by the total number of domestic subscribers, and if the result is at least 0.2, a bonus is paid.
Wow. Some of these studios are going to go bankrupt.
Yeah. 75% of any bonus money will go to the performer, with the remainder going into a new streaming payment distribution fund to compensate performers who work on streaming shows.
Wow.
I mean, streaming doesn't... Disney Plus doesn't make money from streaming.
No.
So they're going to have to pay more money out for something which doesn't even earn them any money.
Yeah, so yeah, some of these streaming services, they're not going to have any of these funds. And the thing is, they can also move stuff around and fudge the numbers to be like, oh, we didn't make any money on this. You know, move stuff around, whatever. I mean, they could do all kinds of trickery to get around this. I don't know. I don't really see this really. I don't see this right here panning out for anybody.
No.
On the actor side.
No, not at all. So disclosure of viewing stats on high budget, whatever that means, streaming productions. Streaming producers will be required to disclose the total number of hours the content was streamed, both in the US and Canada and abroad, for each quarter. That's intended to help actors determine if they're being fairly compensated relative to a show's distribution and popularity.
That's good, but something else that could be fudged.
Yeah. Because they don't have to independently verify that kind of stuff. So
nope.
Literally means nothing.
And how are they going to show proof of evidence? I mean, are they going to show like, this is the software we use, this is how it's calculated? I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm all for them disclosing viewership stats, but man, I don't put a lot of faith in what they're disclosing to be honest and true either. So
I agree with that there as well.
I'm thinking that you're going to get some very curated numbers from
exactly
from the studio.
Selective, one might say.
Yes.
Limits on AI. So this is the big stickler. So let's see the big win that they got, shall we? Film and TV producers must obtain consent from actors to create and use their digital replicas. They did anyway.
Yeah.
So that is not new.
No.
As well as specify how they intend to use their digital likeness. Pretty certain they had to do that as well. So that's nothing new. Yeah. Actors are entitled to compensation at their usual rate for the number of days they would otherwise have been paid for to do the work being performed by a digital replica. How the fuck are you gonna
calculate
what? How would you calculate that?
Yeah, I mean, if they're using,
would you calculate that? Because sometimes it's days just to put together like a 10-second sequence.
Yeah.
Well,
what? Well, that's a win for them, for the actors.
But how? See, here's the problem. This has to be codified in a way that it's tangible. Like both sides can have evidence to prove this is the number of hours it would have taken you to shoot this 10-second AI generated or CGI generated clip, right? That took us like 2 weeks to do. You would have been in the studio for less than a day, but it took us, this extended period of time to get this done and rendered. I think this is going to become a point of argument in probably every production that uses AI and enhanced CGI. So,
well, I mean, 100%. But also, like, I mean, this is 3 years down the line. They're just going to strike again. That's it, done. This is just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah,
they'll strike again. They will just strike again. Because they're not going to get what they think they're going to be able to get from this. They think that they're going to be compensated massively from all of this. They're going to get huge sums of cash. They're going to get like a check for $300 and go, what the fuck? So they're absolutely going to strike again.
Well, and then they're going to be like, you guys have to be making more money than this on the material that's on your streaming service. And when the streamer shows them, we ain't making jack all.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not as big a win as they thought. And I said the same thing. What you just said, I said about the writer's strike as well. I'm like, you're literally just kicking this down the road. And that's it. Yeah. That's it.
This is interesting. Minimum number of background actors. The new labor contract requires that an increased number of background actors be hired on union terms on the West Coast to equal the minimum number in New York. Under the new agreement on TV shows in West Coast cities, 25 background actors, up from 22, will be covered by the contract. For feature films, the West Coast minimum jumps from 57 to 85. Why? Why does that matter?
Yeah, no clue.
That's pointless. Who cares about that? Who gives a shit? What a weird thing. Relocation bonuses. Performers in series who have to relocate for work will be entitled to a maximum relocation benefit of up to $5,000 a month for 6 months. A 200% increase on the previous amount.
Wow.
I mean, they're getting paid anyway.
Yeah.
So, and normally they're housed as well, by the way. So they're getting a bonus whilst also getting all the benefits anyway. Because they're housed. They'll be given accommodation.
I mean, as a film actor will spend up to a year in a rented property free of charge. Along with usually food services of sorts and things.
Oh, they don't wipe their own arsehole if they don't want to.
Yeah.
They'll have little Jimmy D, a production assistant, come wipe their poop hole if they want, for goodness sake. $5,000 a month.
Yeah, most companies will like say, all right, what's your moving costs? Like with the moving company, all that sort of stuff. And then they pay them, they basically reimburse them, or just they'll get a receipt and they'll take care of that. There's none of this $5,000 a month for 6 months. It takes you 6 months to relocate.
Well, to be fair, if that were all up front, 30 grand is probably about what it would cost you to truck and trailer an entire household of
Yeah, but they're not
goods.
though. These are just the performers in a series. I mean,
And
they're getting paid anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They're getting paid and they're getting relocated anyway. This is a bonus.
So my next question is: what if your production goes on the road, to like Hawaii, right?
Well, that's a nice vacation.
Yeah.
You're getting
or
$5 grand a month.
Fiji, or someplace super expensive. I mean, athletes in the NFL don't even get anything like this. When I was in Denver, there was one of the guys that was there on a 1-year contract. He just moved into a rental property that was fully furnished.
Yep.
He kept his house and everything in his where he lived in the whatever other city he was from, and was literally just living in a furnished rental property. The NFL gave him no money to come and play for the Broncos in Denver.
Jesus.
That's a little ridiculous, but
Well, there you go. The good deal, bad deal overall. I think overall it's a bad deal for the actors. I think they're just kicking the can down the road. I don't think this is going to prove massively beneficial for them. But what do you guys think?
There was a lot of bluster and gnashing of teeth and rending of garments for many, many, many months to arrive at a deal that we know will be unsatisfactory in 3 years.
Massively
unsatisfactory. And we'll be doing it again.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that earlier. They can't strike again for 3 years, right? Since this deal was made, don't they got to wait 3 years?
Yep. And but here's the thing: the board has approved this deal, which is why everybody was celebrating going back to work. It has not, as of this moment, I believe, been ratified by all of the membership yet.
That was going to be on Friday, I thought. So I think
too.
It has now, isn't it?
I don't know.
Past Friday?
I thought so. Was it so it was ratified by the membership?
Well, I could be wrong. That was what they had initially said. I guess I was wrong then.
It's quite possible. I will check.
Yeah, I think it's a better deal for the small guy for sure. At least for the pay increase and what they're gonna pay them to relocate and stuff. For the studios, I mean, this is going to cost them even more money. And if they're losing money, the production costs on a lot of these series, streaming services, shows, movies, whatever, I mean, they're going to have to bring the cost down.
Yeah.
Big time.
Drastically. But the thing is as well, like, then no one's going to get a bonus. So they're just going to strike again.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get the bonuses that they think that they're going to get when it comes to all of the streaming stuff, because streaming, they're not hitting big numbers. So yeah, they're kind of screwed with this. I don't think they'll be very happy with it.
I think Netflix is Netflix the only one that's making money, or are they not even making money?
No, I think Netflix has started turning profit. They hadn't for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
They just continue because they just keep growing, so they can keep getting investment basically. But I think that they had started to.
I was accurately describing the situation. So the deal's been approved by the board and has been forwarded to the voting members. Voting started today, and it will carry on through the first week of December to ratify the deal.
Okay.
So we have a tentative agreement. So I was pretty certain of that. I just wanted to double check. So,
and as for Netflix profits, in 2022, they did 4.5 billion in profits.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're pretty much the only ones which are profitable.
Yeah,
they are the only ones that are profitable. I mean, technically, if you cut off Max from Discovery, they were profitable.
Yeah, that's the other one that I was going to say was Max. Prime has got to be on its way up.
I'd say Prime's profitable.
There's no way to know.
Yeah. because they got some good shows over there. Did you see the trailer for Reacher season 2? It's coming December 15th. Oh,
can't wait to see it.
God, that shows. Did you see the first season, Nate? Of Reacher?
No,
on Prime.
It's good.
Oh, it's good, man.
I'm pretty
highly
selective
recommend
what I
that.
watch now. My time's so limited these days.
Well,
I've got to learn anyway.
It's a short series.
You're an educated man.
I don't have time. Honestly, I have to learn every single nerve in the body and what muscles they innervate.
You're on my last nerve, Nate. You're on my last nerve.
So yeah, and every single muscle in the body is fucking and arteries, all the arteries and veins.
Yeah.
Fun.
How do you have time for ladies, companionship, all that?
He has no time for that.
Studying a lot, aren't I? It's a lot of studying at the moment.
All right.
Anyway, let's shuffle on. Right. So let's talk about something which I don't have. Let's move on to the next topic. I don't have a stinger for it. So,
oh no,
I know. Sorry, it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's just this is just kind of thrown in at the last minute. But basically, Taika Waititi has now come out and confirmed he won't direct Thor 5, as the filmmaker instead shifts focus to planned Star Wars movie.
I thought that movie was canceled for him.
Mate, who knows? Honestly. So here's the latest. So, I mean, Chris Hemsworth's been out and said stuff. Anyway, he said he said that Thor Love and Thunder was too silly. I cringe and laugh equally at it. But basically, talking to Business Insider about his new movie, Next Goal Wins, the filmmaker confirmed he isn't going to be stepping back behind the camera for another movie revolving around the Marvel comic superhero. So he says, I wouldn't know if that's accurate when asked if the rumors about Thor 5 being worked on without him. I know that I won't be involved. I'm going to concentrate on these other films I've signed on for. And among them is Star Wars movie. He says it is still marinating. I've been writing it.
No way his Star Wars movie's happening. No way.
Honestly, who knows? And then he says, so that's 6-7 years gone. I'd imagine another Thor would be a lot sooner than that. But I love Marvel. I love working with them. I love Chris. I would never feel like they're cheating on me. Mate, you only did 2 movies, bud. All right? You're not.
Yeah, and he came after the original. So
yeah, we're in an open relationship, and it's like if they want to see other people, I'm happy for that. I'd still get back into bed with them one day. No one wants you to get back into bed with them, mate.
No.
Okay. But the interview, so that interview was likely conducted during or right after Love and Thunder wrapped shooting. So this was earlier this year when he spoke with about another Thor movie. He says, what's left to do with him? It's got to be something that feels like it's carrying on, blah, blah, blah. This is which threw more sort of fuel on the fire that he wasn't coming back. But now it's confirmed he's not coming back. And he says he's not coming back anyway. He literally says, I wouldn't know if that's accurate, but I won't be involved. So it is accurate. It is accurate.
What's funny is
weirdo.
I deleted the stinger that would have covered us for this one.
Oh, you penis. Never mind. But anyway, so he's not. It's fine. So look, what do we think?
I think
good.
It's good.
Good riddance in my eyes.
Yeah, good riddance. Good riddance. Bye bye. Your Star Wars movie isn't happening either. Keep writing something that's not happening. I guess go back to doing movies like Jojo Rabbit. I thought that was great. He's a good director. I just don't think he's good for certain IPs. Star Wars and Marvel being 2 of those IPs.
So I think that his adaptation of the Inkle, I think that will be the only thing that gets made that's on his current wish list there, because Star Wars isn't making anything.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That studio is paralyzed at this point. So
yeah, he's definitely not going to bring Star Wars back with his writing of Star Wars.
No, 100% no. He's good for some stuff, but
yeah,
No, this kind of stuff, no. And that movie Next Goal Wins does actually look good. I saw the advert for that. It looks like fun. That does actually look good, to be honest. I'll be keen to watch that, but yeah, no. Thor, good. I'm happy you're gone. Another thing which we don't have a stinger for. Sorry, guys. Let's move on to our next topic. There's a John Wick anime series announced by Chad Stahelski.
Interesting.
Not just that. There's also some other bits and pieces. So basically, was promoting the John Wick spin-off, The Continental, which I quite liked overall.
Oh, it was good.
John Wick franchise director Chad Stahelski revealed that he's currently working on a tie-in anime series. So he spoke to the playlist. Stahelski opened up the conversation by speaking about another live-action television series that will be separate from The Continental. There's another live-action TV series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got Ballerina coming.
Oh, I don't know if that's what that is. Well, anyway, I know that, but I don't know if that's what they're referring to here. Lionsgate is having us develop the John Wick TV show, so we thought we could explore the high table in that a little bit. We're really excited about the new spin-off because we're doing that and a Japanese anime because I love Japanese anime so much. So to create all the cool stories that anime could achieve better than we could, and the TV show to expand our world, we'll still get our fix. You know what I mean? And we'll still have all the fun. I'm happy with that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, John Wick is essentially kind of a westernized anime brought to live action with guns. I mean, I say it's a pretty accurate description of it. It's very much.
It's gun fu.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think this is good. I'd be happy with that. I really would be.
So Lionsgate is working. Is Lionsgate the one working on this?
Yes.
The anime. It's not the one that's doing the spinoff.
Well, Lionsgate owns the property, right? It's a Lionsgate property, so they would obviously give it out to some other people, basically, to work on, but they own it. So Stahelski reveals that he's a big fan of anime, and that certainly lines up with other recently announced project from the director, because he's going to be teaming up with Cowboy Bebop director Shinichiro Watanabe.
Wow.
Mappa on a new live-action sci-fi anime for Adult Swim titled Lazarus. Specifically, Stahelski is working on the action scenes for the series. And this is part of what we can't watch this, obviously, unfortunately. But I think this is really good, actually. Yeah, I mean, they got this sort of fan image here.
That looks good, though.
Yeah, I mean, it as a fan image doesn't look bad.
No. Yeah, count me in. I'm a fan of John Wick.
Look at the shading.
I like anime.
Somebody spent a lot of time on that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or the little bit of anime that I've actually watched, anyways, I've liked.
Yeah,
I don't watch it.
I think this could be really good.
Yeah,
I think this could be great. What did we think of the Continental?
About the what? Oh, the Continental.
Yeah,
I've
not seen it yet.
Oh, dude,
you should watch it. Good.
I'm still trying to get through One Piece.
Oh my god. You haven't finished One Piece anime yet?
I was going to finish it this weekend, but I had to go out of town this last weekend, help a buddy out. So I'm going to try to get it finished up this week.
You have too many friends, Nick.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
Yeah. Plus,
well, I'm all for this.
Yeah,
it's good.
Plus, I agree with what they're saying, where they're saying there's a lot more they can do with the anime version than live action, and it's going to be a lot more cost effective doing it that way too. They can do a lot bigger things animation wise, for sure.
Goodness me.
So yeah, I'm on board. Count me in for this one.
And I think, like, I think Lionsgate are one of the only non sort of infiltrated studios at this point, like by agenda and stuff like that. I mean, they're not trying to drive any agenda stuff. They're just plodding along through their very limited. What?
I think they still have their their battles and struggles with that. I mean, they're the songbirds and snakes people, So.
Yeah, but I think that's just unfortunate casting. I don't think they realized that she was such a repugnant bitch.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Well, I don't know, do I? But yeah, I don't know, mate. Well, look, but let's at the very least with Lionsgate, they're more than happy just to let Chad Stahelski do what he wants.
Yeah,
that's good. So this is I'm happy about this.
I think Lionsgate learned their lesson because they had so many consecutive bombs. We used to call them Bombgate, and I think they had so many bombs they stopped interfering with projects because its studio interference was just killing them. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, very very true. Right, well, ladies and gents, let's shuffle our. Oh no, actually, we do have 2 super chats to get to, guys.
Oh,
John Apocalypse sent in £2. Says thoughts on Pokemon Concierge coming to Netflix. What on earth is that?
I've never been into Pokemon. I don't keep up with Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon. God, Nick.
Yeah, I don't.
Cultured swine.
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's not my jam.
Like you're not in a okay. I don't know what Pokemon.
I think the animation looks great.
Have you seen it? What is it?
The trailer's out. You can check it. It's a Netflix trailer. You can watch it on.
What is it?
On YouTube.
What is it? What's it about?
It's an animation. It's
yeah.
Pokemon
animation, right? Okay. Blur my mind here, culture.
It's set on a tropical island where Pokemon travel for their vacations.
And joking, but oh, right.
I'm not.
Is the Charizard gonna be in it? Isn't that like the big popular Pokemon?
I don't know because
I think it's way past that nowadays. To be fair, Nick,
it comes out after Christmas. It's available on December 28th. That's all I know. Okay, I just told you what I know of this project.
Well, I don't know anything, John Apocalypse. Sorry, mate.
I don't know. I did get into that stupid Pokemon Go mobile game.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Where
I was saying Pokey.
I didn't say Pokey.
No, oh my God.
Pokemon.
That's what I said. Pokemon.
You're not saying. Yeah, you're categorically not saying that, Nick.
Oh. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it's called. Pokeballs. But
that sounds like that sounds like you're going to get checked for a hernia. Pokeballs.
Yeah. So Pookie, Polka, whatever.
Pokemon.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that mobile game it was addictive. And then
you got into that, did you?
And then I learned how to hack it by installing a VPN on my phone, and I could go over to Hong Kong and basically get all kinds of stuff.
You were cheating.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's funny.
Hack the planet, baby.
Yeah.
I can just picture this on a Sunday afternoon. Nick's wandering around, going, no, I'm trying to catch you now.
Yeah.
Staring at his phone. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, I went over onto a business complex up on this hill, and I was like, crap, it said no trespassing, and I need to get over to that tree back behind this building to get this little fuck over here. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get caught. I was looking around and all right, I'm gonna run over there real quick. I ran over there. Security comes out. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to catch one of these little bastards on my phone. Hang on.
Dude, God. Somebody I know went into the utilidors at Disney World to get a Pokemon. I kid you not.
Hilarious.
They went into the security area. Yeah.
Pokemon, I don't know what it is, mate. Sorry. Black Saber sent in $5. Says, do you guys think the recently unionized effects artists will have any effect on these types of strikes currently or in the future?
They'll probably have their own strikes.
So I've spoken now and exchanged emails now with a couple of different visual effects artists that one was affected with this, one was not affected by this because they weren't in-house at either of the Disney studios that did it. The problem is that if they don't want to use union labor at all. They don't have to. They can get rid of their in-house VFX people or assign them to other duties or whatever, and that's that. They literally could have, with that move, made them go fully outsourced, which would be difficult for Disney, but they may do that.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
it's Disney has been trying to get the lowest common denominator as far as costs go with CGI. I mean, they've put too many people under too much pressure. The only people that might be isolated from getting booted out in favor of just getting rid of any unionized work inside would be the people that operate the video walls for the volumes and the stagecraft studios. You know, that would probably, because those people have to be on site running those Unreal machines, and a lot of these video walls take 4 to 8 of those, sometimes more, and hundreds of those video screens. So we'll have to see. One of those video wall setups is incredibly expensive, and to control them in real time and link them to cameras, that's a specialty. So I think like I said, it's probably the only in-house live management people that would survive in VFX if Disney really wanted to not have the unions there, or if they were ever held to strike, because you could bring people in from the outside and poof, your job's gone.
And without them, the movies and the projects don't get done.
We actually just got another super chat that dropped in, which has caught my eye massively. Miss H, did you see the Sweet Home Season 2 trailer yet? Comes out December 1st. No, I did not. I really enjoyed Sweet Home Season 1. So I'm going to have to check out that teaser in my own time in a minute. So thank you so much for letting me know about that. Can never do reactions. So, well, real quick, can never do reactions to Netflix stuff because they do copyright claims. Yeah. Sweet Home was a South Korean series. Guy moves into a flat apartment block. Randomly, monsters start appearing. Like,
interesting.
People just turning into horrendous monsters.
This is on Netflix.
The visual, yeah, mate, it is amazing. You have, I'd say you have to watch it. You've not even watched One Piece yet, so
yeah, I gotta get through One Piece.
It was great. It was amazing. Did you watch it, Culture?
No. Again, I have so much stuff to catch up on. Because I remember you talking about it, right? That was a little over
so good.
A year ago.
Sweet Home's so good.
Is it live action?
Good. Live action. Yeah, live action. It's so good. Let me just let me show you some of them. Mate, it's so good. The visual effects were great. It was just so weird and cool, and yeah, it was kind of, I don't know. They just nailed it. They just absolutely nailed it. There was some guy, monsters. So there was this guy with half of his head missing, and they showed how they filmed it. It was brilliant. It was so good. Well worth. Yeah, here you go. So good. Again, like weird. VFX. Yeah,
it looks good though.
Oh mate, it's brilliant. It's well worth your time. Great. Well
I'll have to add that to my list.
It was developed from a webtoon, so it was a webtoon, and then they turned it into a live action thing, basically.
That's awesome.
So pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, let's shuffle on to our next topic. Hangover. Well, we don't know. Basically, what's the story here? We've got statements about what's happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and moving forwards, right? So Michael Waldron is working on both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars for Marvel Studios. And now it's confirmed that Jeff Loveness is done, which is kind of confirmed a long time ago anyway. But now it's sort of like doubly confirmed. And then there's the rumor that they're moving away from Kang. So here's some of the statements. This is from Joanna Robinson, who did that MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios book, which has taken everything by storm. She said this on the House of R podcast. I heard from someone recently, the screenwriter Jeff Loveness, who wrote Quantumania, was supposed to write the Kang Dynasty. Anyway, it's confirmed. I had it confirmed to me he's no longer working for Marvel. I asked the person why, and they said the reason why is he was all wrapped up in this Kang storyline, and they're likely going to be moving away from that. So there's the kind of rumor of no more Kang. And it's not the first time, like we've heard this time and time again. Loads of people have said that
it's been 2 months of rumbling at this point about this.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And the fact, I mean, Michael Waldron working on this is pretty big. Now, Michael Waldron wrote Loki season 1, and so we don't know what's happening moving forwards with any of this stuff, but there was some kind of comments from Kevin Wright. So this individual revealed whether Jonathan Majors' legal issues changed anything for Loki's finale. And they obviously, he's working on this stuff basically. Says, no, nothing affected our finale. I think I said elsewhere earlier when the show was first coming out, the story that is on screen is the one that we set out to make. That's actually not true though, because we confirmed that they rewrote and reshot episode 5. Remarkably, so no one was coming down telling us we had to connect or set up anything for the future. It was sort of a finish our story that we started. Now, there's how it ends. There's sort of a tease that Kang might be done now with when Loki season 2 ends. So as part of where it's all going, I can't say, and not because I'm coy, we're not a part of those projects. But I would say, I know Michael Waldron is working on them, and he loves, obviously, this world as he helped create it, because he did, obviously, season 1. Now, it says this, and no, I mean, the threat that we establish at the end of this multiversal war will come. Sylvie is just saying, let us have a chance. So I hope that people continue to run with that, because I would love to see what that story is. But we're not really sure, because the end kind of teases that Kang might be done as well. Because literally, if no one's seen Loki season 2, the end of Loki season 2, Loki becomes the god of stories, and he's literally the center of the universe, literally the center of the multiverse, sitting on a throne at the center of the multiverse. So surely he can just to anything and anyone. He can travel through time. He can do whatever he wants now. Kang might be out, is the rumor. And this is not a stretch. They've binned off people for less, significantly less. And Kang, Jonathan Majors, has been a pretty big thorn in Marvel's side. But anyway, I've talked enough. Culture, you go.
I have no reason to believe that we will see Kang after this season finale of Loki season 2. I have no reason to believe that we'll see him. They're reshooting everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. They're reshooting everything. Again.
It's been delayed by 9 months, hasn't it?
Yeah. People don't believe me when I say this. No, they're starting from scratch with Captain America 4. However that's going to play out. We don't even know if it's going to be Falcon. We don't even know if it's going to be Falcon Cap. We don't know. They've had to massively restructure so many different things. Daredevil, born again, is going to be born again, and you're going to get that. That's being completely from the ground up redone, and that's a TV show. The only thing that we're on the hook to see for sure is this dumb Echo show. That's it. Everything else is
being reworked.
Yeah. I mean, and that includes, even some animation that had been scheduled in the next 2 years. So I don't believe we'll see Kang again. I have no reason to believe they will put more money after bad, number one. I have no reason to believe that they have any interest in returning to that, especially with his legal issues. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
Kang, going back and looking at the first couple phases of the MCU with Thanos, he was constantly teased and mentioned and had quick shots. It was a build-up. This Kang thing is just such a letdown. Like it's like it hasn't even gotten started. To me, it was a complete waste of time for them to try to go in this direction with him. To me, he's not the same kind of threat as Thanos is. I definitely think they should move away from him. Dr. Doom would definitely be better. There's rumors of that going around.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, for me, the Kang thing, it never even got off the ground. And with all the interconnectivity with the Disney Plus shows, like you gotta go do your homework and keep up with all these shows and then the movies and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't like that with the MCU. Their TV and show universe needs to be completely separate, just like how they did with Netflix, just like they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. never had any direct tie-ins or anything like that. They did a good job on that. I kind of fell off the bandwagon in the later seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I like that show. But yeah, I think they need to keep those completely separate and keep the cinematic universe its own thing. There's so many characters out there that they could go do shows on and all that sort of stuff. And then if those become big characters, then you just introduce them and plug them into the cinematic universe. You don't have to go watch all the shows. You just introduce them. This is the character. And there might be some small things that you'll get if you watched all the shows, but it's not required material. To know anything about Kang and all this, you got to go watch Loki. You got to see, Ant-Man. You got to see in the Quantumania and all that, and you got to watch Loki season 2. You got to do all this stuff to make all these connections and understand what's happening. And a lot of people just aren't going to take the time to do all that, and they're going to lose interest. And I think that's where we're at in this latest phase of the MCU.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of that. Massively agree with all of that. And like I said, they've got rid of Kang. They've got rid of previous actors for much, much less than Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm.
And now what I mean by that is just rumors and rumblings.
Yeah.
He's not had his day in court yet. He's always had a day in court. A few, but he's not, been formally found guilty of anything. But Disney's got rid of people for significantly less. So,
well,
wouldn't be a surprise if they get rid of him.
Yeah, just the hint or the inkling of what Johnny Depp was accused of, got him ousted from Pirates, even though it had not.
Yeah.
I don't like go to court.
I don't like using that as a comparison because then people use that to say that Jonathan Majors is being falsely accused, etc. So I try never to use that as.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's the accusation. The reason that I brought it up is because it's just an accusation. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
No, I agree with you. It's not a fun one, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Did you find the clip at the bottom of the thing?
I did. I'm about to.
Okay.
I've got to move away from one to slide into another. You see.
But is it? Did we get a super about how excited everybody is for Kang? I'm kind of bummed out. Nobody was excited for Kang. I'm sad.
Super? No. What do you mean?
I was hoping somebody would send a super about Kang because everybody loves Kang. They were going to tell us we're wrong.
I don't think anyone cares about Kang.
Oh.
No one's going to send a super chat to defend Kang.
Oh.
At all.
Exactly. That was my point of what I was talking about a minute ago. Like nobody cares about Kang,
Who's Kang?
Yeah.
The chat.
Well, ladies and gents, one thing that you do all care about is this recurring segment here on the channel.
So what kind of dumb shit did Grace say this week?
one of the greatest things I ever saw. I loved it.
So, ladies and gents, what kind of dumb shit did Grace say this week?
Oh, this
Now, I'm sure you've heard the term MCU. It's being used by some fan communities. And yes, the term is extremely offensive, but it's also becoming undeniably true.
wow. Wow.
It's extremely offensive, but it's true. Fucking dunce.
I mean, there's no hiding it anymore. I mean, you cannot deny it any longer. You know, oh, it's offensive.
I love. Oh my god,
It's offensive, but it's true.
Yeah,
that's what. Oh my god, I love
the truth.
I love the mental gymnastics she does. I love the mental gymnastics she does. She's literally like, "Oh, it's so offensive, but it is true."
Did Nerdrotic start the whole MCU thing?
I think so. I think
he was the first one that I heard.
I think he coined the term, and then we all adopted it rapidly because it's accurate.
Yeah. So funny. So funny. It's really offensive, but it is true. There you go, ladies and gents. Reality is offensive, as per Grace Randolph.
Oh,
the mental gymnastics of the left-leaning morons.
Yeah,
it's quite wild.
Yeah. And I will say as well, just in her defense, I watched a bit of that video. I tortured myself. And she actually says a lot of stuff. She's like, yeah. She says a lot of stuff that is actually completely true. But that is the most ridiculous, dumb thing she said in a while, because she's like, well, it is offensive, but it is true. It's not offensive then, is it? You twat. All you're doing is observing reality. An observation of reality cannot be offensive. That's that. Observing a literal, truth in reality cannot be offensive. It is neither offensive or inoffensive. It just is.
Nate, I'm telling you right now, Grace disagrees with you. Just so you know.
She's an idiot. She's an idiot.
You're never going to date her.
Just one more for everyone, ladies and gents. Just one more for everyone.
So what kind of dumb shit did Grace say this week?
It's one of the greatest things I ever saw. I loved it.
Now, I'm sure you've heard the term MCU. It's being used by some fan communities. And yes, the term is extremely offensive, but it's also becoming undeniably true.
Not just offensive, guys. Extremely offensive.
I'm just waiting for her.
Extremely.
Every time I hear her, I'm just like, especially the beginning of that clip, I'm just waiting for her to break it in the, now tell me what you want, what you really, really want. You like freaking Spice Girls song or something. Now,
so funny.
That's one of my favorite bits that we put together. I love that one so much. One of the best segments.
Is it one of the greatest things you ever saw?
It's one of the greatest things I ever saw. I loved it.
Fucking hell. Right, well, there you go.
Oh, Grace Randolph.
Oh god, it's just the meme that keeps on memeing. Yeah. Seriously.
Look, and here's the thing, and I think she's genuine.
Genuinely retarded.
Yeah.
Funny. Genuinely funny.
She's genuinely something, mate. She's genuinely something.
I'm trying to be nice. It's a fellow.
I'm not. I don't care.
Culture
this person wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire, mate. You don't be nice to these people. There's no point.
Oh, she's a fellow content creator. Come on.
Well, no, you can observe again. You can observe reality and still not, be horrible or anything like that. Like she is stupid and she is indoctrinated with this nonsense again, you have to do a mental. She has to say it's extremely offensive, but it is true. She's saying that as a precursor because she doesn't want to rile up her bizarre fan base that are very clearly, I don't know, part of some weird ideology. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, she's
an idiot.
She's a content creator.
Whoa, Nick going in hard. Nick going in hard. I just think she's stupid. I don't understand why she has anywhere near as much praise as she does. The moment she said she stopped watching Rambo and still reviewed it and said it was offensive because of Mexicans portraying the cartel. I was like, you are the biggest tit on planet
I didn't
Earth.
say she was
Go
smart.
away. Okay, good. Because she's definitely not. Just to throw that out there. Right. Well, anyway, Culture, what you got going on, buddy? What's happening in your world?
I released a couple videos. They seem to interest some people. I've got my 6-minute daily on the weekdays, and tonight is probably Midnight's Edge After Dark with Tom or others. Otherwise, I'm
not appearing on this.
Say again.
Give him a slap for not appearing on this. Then
I know he should be punished. I mean, truly. Tom,
did he reply to you? Is he coming or what?
No, he's like, whatever. Culture.
All right, cool. Fine. Nick, what you got going on, bud?
We got another video releasing today. Me and Coach just did a fun video, like all the other news stuff. We were just like, we're kind of getting burnt out. We're like, let's just do something fun. So we did a top 3, my top 3 versus his top 3 best greatest fantasy movies of all time. So he's editing it together. We got a Saturday night live stream this Saturday. I'm still working on the Wednesday afternoon show. I'm working on putting that together. That will just take place like the same time frame as this show. And it'll be sandwiched in between Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Wednesday, the prize start first Wednesday in December. Is what I'm shooting for. So yeah, nice. Stay tuned for that. Algorithm is not liking our content that we're doing, getting away from Star Wars. So we're still fighting that. It is what it is.
Fight the power.
Yeah, we'll get there. What have I got going on, guys? Loads of videos. This weekend's going to be a little bit of a busy one for me, though. I'm in London, so I've got to drive to London Saturday, drive back Saturday, drive back Sunday, drive back to London Sunday, drive back home Sunday, drive back there on Monday, and then drive back on Monday night. I'm going to be very tired.
Are you driving the Datsun?
Hey?
Are you driving the Datsun?
No, Datsun's off the road for winter. It's all wrapped up. It's got a car cover on it and stuff. No, I drive my Lexus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my like cruiser.
Daily driver.
Yes. Yeah. My little. Have you seen? This is my Lexus.
Oh yeah.
So I drive that because it's like exempt
gas
from. It's all right on gas, but it's exempt from some congestion charge. I think something like that. Anyway, but I need to go there because I got to do some clinic time as part of my master's degree. So I've got to go there on Monday, which is a pain in the ass, but it needs to be done. So it means I'll be doing as much content as possible, guys. Be as much as possible. But anyway,
are you still doing Sunday chill streams, or have you put those on hold?
So they're kind of like. So I tried to get one going. I'm Sundays. I'm trying to call them the Hcast After Dark or Hcast After Dark. As a bit of me just streaming, and then anyone can just drop in. Basically, was the idea. Just because a bit of fun that way, really.
Is that why I got a link for this last Sunday on Twitter? Okay, I was like, he must have sent that to me on accident.
No, 100% on purpose. So basically, on Sundays, guys, is I'll be doing Hcast After Dark, no specific topics, and I'll just be blanket inviting other creators basically to see who will drop in if they want to drop
the shit,
in.
Hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. Literally just hanging out, chit chatting with the people in the chat, and that's it. Really, just just a hangout, basically. A bit
Sweet.
of fun. So yeah, that'll be on Sunday. It probably won't be this Sunday because I'm going to be I'll be very tired, and I've got to wake up again very early on the Monday. But we'll see. If I can, then I will, and if not, it'll be the following Sunday, and we'll sort of keep the flow going. But anyway, thank you so much.
Real quick update for those of you out there in the world. The Marvels officially domestically made in the United States $2.3 million at the box office yesterday.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So wow. So did they cross 50 domestic yet?
No. 48.4.
Wow.
Terrible.
Wow. I can't wait
weekend
to
as
see the
well.
drop off after this next weekend.
Easy 60 million, easy 60%.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for making today's comeback a bit of a success. Sorry I take some time off. I was sick, extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, you sound a lot better.
Culture was also not able to continue the show either, so that's why it didn't happen. But it is what it is, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you again on Thursday. From me and everyone else, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye, guys.